The EL platform is part fixed and part variable, obviously. The three parts that are going to be unchanging. First is the frame, a tubular steel unibody architecture, which is going to be fixed in all our products. Next up is the powertrain, and third is the electrical architecture. Keeping these three things constant, these are components that need an enormous amount of engineering and testing. Keeping these three things constant, but playing around with the other variables like the battery pack, the display, the tire sizes, the suspension, we can create unique purpose-built products for different consumers. And these are not going to be just a surface treatment. These are not just going to be skin jobs on the same thing internally, which is one thing that's frustrated us always while we've been building scooters. That almost all scooters, particularly, seem to have the same thing inside with just different plastics around it, which is why they feel the same, they ride the same, they are the same. We're going to do a different job while still getting the benefit of a common platform. And you don't have to imagine that we are just, how will we build this platform? For the sake of this conversation, let's try building products on stage here to just showcase the power of this platform. Let's start with something that's the largest in the scooter space, a maxi scooter. A maxi scooter typically has wide proportions, big road presence, and generally just spacious dimensions overall. So that would need an elongated rear subframe, elongated rear subframe for a bigger seat and longer straight line stability of the product. We will need bigger wheels. So we'll pop the wheel sizes up to about 14-inch, which is one of the largest, I think, now in the industry, for better stability in straight lines and better comfort on potholes and long distance driving. We'll also pump the wheel sizes, we also pump the battery sizes up, take the battery to about 5 kilowatt hour on this platform, which is going to be one of the largest batteries in the industry today. Put all that together with a great visual and a great body all around it, and you have a great maxi scooter built on the EL platform. Let's try attempting building something else. What's the opposite of a maxi? Something small, something nifty, peppy city scooter. Let's try building that. The first thing we will do is bring the frame down because the vehicle needs to be more agile, needs to be more maneuverable. So we'll shrink the rear part of the frame. We'll leave the rest of the frame intact. We'll pop down the wheel sizes to about 12-inch for better maneuverability and better flickability in traffic. I'll just let it play out. Yes. And we will also pop the battery size down, the lowest battery size on this platform, which is going to be about 2 kilowatt hours, while maintaining a very similar performance level that you are expecting on the same product. Put all of it together, and now you have a great peppy city scooter designed for the urban use case. Let's try building a third one on this. This is the bread and butter of our industry, commuter. But this time, let's do the commuter a little differently. Let's optimize for safety more than anything else in this product. First, let's get the basics out. Let's pop back the rear frame so that you have a more comfortable ride, bigger, better, more comfortable seats overall. Let's also elongate the suspension a little bit compared to the city scooter. So you have a very plush suspension. This is going to be one of the largest suspensions in the market. We will pop the front wheel back up to 14-inch. So it's a combination of that wheel size and a very long wheelbase will give you almost unmatched stability on city roads. Finally, we'll do safety now. So let's introduce the upgrade over CBS. CBS is there on all our products, but we believe it's time to go beyond that. Introducing our proprietary new architecture called the Advanced Electronic Braking System. This is a significant upgrade over what CBS does, and I'll just explain that in the following slides. And obviously ADAS, because all modern two-wheelers are going to have them. A combination of ADAS, advanced EBS, longer wheelbase, bigger wheels gives us a really good safety characteristic as a product. And there it is. You have immediately a commuter that prioritizes safety. And just like that, in 2 minutes, we were able to build 3 very different products on the same platform. The point here is obviously not the exact product. The point is how versatile the platform is. We can build something as large as Maxi to as small as a peppy scooter to a safety-focused commuter product,
all on the same platform with almost minimal changes, right? And now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the other benefits of this platform. First, let's talk about safety. So I talked about advanced electronic braking system. What this does is a typical combi braking system has fixed, what do we call it? A fixed brake biasing. So generally, if you press the combi brake, the front wheel has a 20% bias. But with this, we have dynamic brake biasing, and coupled with the magic braking algorithm that we have, what we get is a pretty large upgrade over what CBS is able to do. This gives you shorter stopping distances and overall a significantly upgraded braking experience. That again, coupled with much larger wheels, much larger wheelbases, and ADAS gives you a very good safety package on this product. Let's go to the next vector here, which is convenience. One thing that we've been eyeing for a long while on our existing products, but couldn't do till now, is get all our electronics together, get a lot of our power electronics particularly together, which is what we're doing on the EL platform. We are taking two of the largest chunks, which is the charger and the Ather drive controller, ADC, and we are merging them into a singular unit. And the reason we're doing it is, and this has frustrated us and been an opportunity for so long, these are two components, these are two modules, sorry, that share almost the same components at its core. They do essentially a very similar job. This converts AC to DC, and this converts DC back to AC. And they do it in two different time zones. You don't use the charger when the motor is gonna run, and you don't run the motor when it's charging, right? So two components that work in two different time zones share almost the same pieces inside. Why not bring them in the same module? Which is what we have done, introducing Ather Charge Drive Controller. It essentially is an amalgamation of our charger and the ADC in a singular module, what we also like to call something that converts AC to DC and DC to AC. So we're just going to call it AC-DC as a module. Very topical for the event here today. Now, this saves space, this saves us money, this makes assembly faster, but the biggest advantage that you will get as a consumer on this platform with this architecture is in charging. Because now, with all of that in a single module, you don't need an off-board charger. So what we will be able to do is replace this portable charger with this, just a small cable. So onboard charging becomes extremely convenient with AC-DC here. Let's move on for scalability. We're going to more cities. We are becoming a larger and larger company. So obviously scalability has to be the center of how we are approaching and building products now. EL products will have a simplified architecture. The original 450 product line had 16 components, 12 components in the frame. Rista brought it down to 7. And with EL, we are moving to a single part, unibody steel frame architecture. All of this reduces the number of parts significantly. Your number of parts come down by 15% at a vehicle level, which makes it 15% faster to assemble and 15% cheaper to produce overall at a assembly level. So cost comes down because of that. This vehicle will be produced out of a new factory, which we're calling the Ather Factory 3.0. That's how the facade of the new factory is shaping up. We would obviously welcome all of you once it is up next year in Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. It's going to be a beautiful piece, and this is the place where EL platform products will roll out from. This is certainly the place where scaling up of EL will happen starting next year. Moving forward, final piece on what we're building here, scalability is done, is serviceability. Obviously, we've had a good track record of it and we want to maintain that. So given that we had an opportunity to do a complete clean job with serviceability with this architecture, we've done a few new things. What we've done is we've redesigned the transmission, as you saw in the video there. We have tweaked the frame components. We have changed the reach for every service operation, and that does two things. First, today we have about a 5,000 kilometer service interval. So you need to come for servicing at intervals of about 5,000 kilometers. With all these changes, we expect the interval will
increase. So you will have to come fewer times for servicing. We expect service intervals will increase almost up to not 6, 7, but almost 10,000 kilometers. So you will come almost just once in a year for service in some sense. And every time you do come, we expect servicing to be almost 2x faster, which means that you will spend lesser time in service when you do come for service. So overall service experience should see a significant upgrade with the EL platform next year and onwards. Finally, just a summary. We showed you a bunch of concepts here. Honestly, we don't have a crystal ball. The point is not that we know that this concept will work or this product will work or this product will work. What we do know for sure is that we are going to need a lot of products in the future, and EL as a platform sets us up really well for that future.
Having said that, there is a concept on this platform that we have been working on, and we're very excited to unveil that today because that's come out really well.
So I think time to cue in music and
introduce EL01.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for, yes, there it is. EL01.
Thank you, folks. If you can all get back, we'll just continue, finish the last part.
We'll bring the vehicles up for a final photo shoot towards the end. Thank you. Yeah. So that was all about the EL platform and the concept we built on it. We're particularly excited about that. That's a commuter concept we talked about, commuter concept focused on safety. We continue to develop it, and shortly, sometime next year, we'll be able to reveal more details around the exact product. Let's move on. Last section of the day, we talked about our first concept vehicle. Let's go there. There's a theme that you would have noticed by now, because honestly, we have left no opportunity to hammer it on everybody's head, which is experience and magic. That's literally the theme for AC/DC today. Over the years, we've come to realize that we are really passionate about using tech to build magical experiences at the end of the day. Not specs, not features, but experiences. And while historically there was almost like a race against time, because we wanted to build so many things, but
the product had to come out first, that we always launch the product and on the product launch the experience. We want to change that now. We want to now start showing you the experiences that we imagine for the future, even before they come on an actual product. And that's what this section is. This is our first ever concept vehicle. We are not launching it today or yet. I just want to clarify that. It does look good, but the point is more than the concept here, all the experiences we are showing you on this product.
And we want to do that because we don't want to wait until, we go ahead and launch the final product at some point in time. So let's get into it. The big thing that we are pushing the envelope today with this concept vehicle is responsiveness. If you think about it, today, by introducing touch, we've elevated how responsive your vehicle is. By introducing voice, we've further elevated how responsive your vehicle is. We want to keep tugging on that thread, and we want to make our vehicles even more responsive in the future. And that's going to be the common theme with what we show off today with this entire concept. First, let's start with the core vehicle itself, the basics. The basics of this kind of a product, if responsiveness is the theme, the mechanicals have to be very responsive. And a responsive mechanicals is generally one thing. They've got to be agile, they've got to be dynamic, they've got to be lightweight. Starting first with the frame. Cast aluminum frame that's designed for an incredible looks and incredible weight and strength. The seat, which is a 3D printed lattice mesh, which is really designed for, again, lower weight,
and flexes exactly where you need it to flex. The body, which is built out of an experimental material, Amplitex, which is a high performance material, again, optimized for weight with the right amount of strength built into it. All of this comes together beautifully
as a package and gives you what is a stunner of a product. And it gets better when you put the body on it. Introducing Project Redux, a vehicle with which we are really exploring the ends of what we can do with responsiveness, the limits of what we can do with responsiveness. So you saw what we did with the mechanicals. Obviously, it does not stop there. For us, a very responsive vehicle is one that does not need instruction in the first place. It goes beyond instruction and really understands your intent. What does that mean? It means experiences like this. You can just walk up to this vehicle. The vehicle will recognize you. It'll detect who you are. You don't need to carry a key. You don't even need to carry a key fob. There is going to be literally no button on this vehicle. True keyless experience, if there ever was one. So whenever we build keyless, the experience would be modeled on these lines, not a regular keyless that we've seen in the industry. It goes beyond even the form of the vehicle. So you can sit upright on the vehicle like you would in any other regular motor scooter. But when you want to go fast, all you have to do is lean in. And when you lean in, the vehicle readjusts its geometry, the suspension retunes itself, lowers the center of gravity, and the software tunes itself for a faster, better acceleration over anything else. So it becomes a far more thrilling ride, a far more fascinating ride than what it was before. All of it with you not even clicking a button, not even saying anything, with you just bending down and taking the form that you're supposed to. The concept continues. When you bend down, even the UI changes, what we are calling as Morph UI. With Morph UI, we are exploring a lot on the display. So this is a very large vertical display rather than the typical horizontal displays that we've had. They're designed to show you intelligently a vast array of data, a lot of information, but it also will understand when you don't need to see all that information. So when you go to a committed stance and you bend down, in that case, it's not just the UI that changes, but the entire screen bends down and gets to show you only what you need to see, which is the power and the speed in this case. Right? So everything stitched up to understanding your intent as opposed to be waiting for your instruction. The throttle has haptics inbuilt into it. So this elevates the engagement with the product for us. The vehicle can now give you a lot more feedback when the turns are coming, when the road is getting sharper, when it wants you to do something. And you can also press on the throttle, and there's pressure sensors built into it, so you can engage more with the vehicle. So both the handlebars will have this. And the final hero feature, final hero experience on this product, particularly for performance vehicles, which we are calling the takeoff mode. In the takeoff mode, as an extension of our already exciting 0 lag throttle. We've elevated that further. So what we do here is, when you're waiting for the light to go green, you just press the brakes, you throttle up completely, you twist the throttle completely. The vehicle now understands that you really want to take off. It builds up potential. Its ergo once again adjusts down. It shifts its center of gravity down.
It changes its mode. And the minute you release throttle, you're immediately the fastest thing on the road. You pick up pace much faster, shaving off those few precious milliseconds that are required in a performance vehicle, giving a really incredible performance. Those are all the different experiences on this. 4 different things: truly keyless, adaptive stance, morph UI, and takeoff, all coming together in a brilliant package that we are calling Redux. Let's cue in the video. Project Redux. And can Swapnil bring EL back on stage again?
लो और क्या नया है आजकल? बिग बास्केट में अब सब 10 मिनट में आता है।
10 minutes मतलब big basket, 10 minutes मतलब big basket.
डिलीवर्ड चुटकियों में।
नमस्कार, मैं रवीश कुमार। अगर चुनाव आयोग का यह जवाब है तो आपको सतर्क हो जाना